All right. Welcome back to the Share Chair podcast, this video podcast, coronavirus edition. Holy cow, Kaisee Jonio, it's awesome. It is really, really nice to see your face and hear your voice. And how you doing?
I'm good. I've definitely been better, but I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah. Same. I've been better. Like, I'm not kidding. This like doing these little podcast videos, just like having them on my schedule, thinking about questions I want to ask, seeing students, has really helped to like keep my energy up. So I've found that like staying busy has been
Mm-hmm.
really helping, or at least like having something to look forward to has been really important. So yeah, how about for you? You said it's been tough. Like, what's been, you know, so this is the beginning of the third week
Mm-hmm.
that we've been away from school. Like, what have you found to be like really tough?
Well, I guess for starters, like it's really tough because you go to bed at night and you just are really excited about, oh, like one more day's gone, like one more day closer to coming back to school, and then you wake up and you get these texts or like I don't know, just notifications saying like this just happened or more cases just came up or whatever. And it's like kind of discouraging because like you just want to go back to school so bad, or at least I do. Like I want to go back to school so bad. It's crazy. And like I don't know, it's just really discouraging. So like that's really hard. And also just like not being able to see my friends. Like we've done a lot of FaceTime calls, like almost every single day for at least like I don't know, maybe 2 hours a day. Like it's crazy. And no, and like it's honestly amazing because I love them and I miss them so much. But like it's definitely not the same as seeing them in person, which also kind of stinks.
Yeah. So has any of the things you missed surprised you? Have any of that has any of it been like, I knew this was gonna be hard, but like blank is even harder. This like I don't know what that is. Either the social part or the education part, or I don't know, anything.
Well, I feel like the education part hasn't really changed that much for me because I get a lot of the same work. But like the social aspect of school is definitely like hard to match when you only can talk to people through a computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but honestly, like yeah, like the education part is pretty much the same. So
Well, if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit more about the social part, and then maybe the education part later. But that social part, especially now, senior year, basically we're down to like the last 10 weeks, and coming up now after spring break, like 5 or 6 weeks. Um, what were some of the things that like you're most excited for? Um, that you're worried about now, like not happening?
um honestly, everything, I guess. Like I don't know, they always tell you like, oh, third try of your senior year is the best try. Like it's built for the seniors. Like you get senior skip day and prom,
Yeah.
like last dance ever, senior assassin, like even just like being in the halls with your friends and just like hearing people talk and just like the buzz and everything. Like it's I really miss it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that surprise you? Like, did you think, I mean, we could never have seen this coming, but is the amount of missing it surprising you, or?
Um, a little bit because like I feel like I said, like the whole hallway conversations and stuff, like I definitely take that for granted. I didn't really realize that I would miss it that much. Like for example, like Malachi and Kaden Reuter, like they always like come over to my locker because I'm like not locker neighbors with my friend Jess, and they always shut my locker because I think it's annoying, and like they always like play pranks on me and stuff, and that I miss a lot. I also just miss like walking to classes with my friends and just like talking about like what I had to do in my last class and how annoying it was or whatever, and like it just I don't know, like, it surprises me that I miss that sort of stuff because like, in the moment, you're so annoyed. Um, and I don't really think I'm surprised by the fact that I'm missing out on, like, the bigger things, obviously, like prom and stuff, but, like, I see why it's happening, it just kinda stinks.
Of course, of course. I actually find it really interesting that you point out those small little like pranks or the little conversations from locker to classroom or
Mhm.
even the guys shutting your locker. I mean, that's hilarious because I mean, it's interesting to me because of course if I asked you at school in class like about that you'd probably be like, oh, it's so annoying and I'm so frustrated, and now here you miss it. what do
Mhm.
you what do you think it is about that
Mm.
makes you yearn for it or long for it?
Well, I guess now it's because, like, I feel like it's every single day, like, that stuff happens every single day, and I'm just kind of in this bubble of, "Oh, like, it's gonna happen." Like, I just gotta be used to it, it's just gonna happen, and it's, like, the normal, and now it's not so normal anymore, and I think that's why I miss it a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that. You were wondering or you were saying that school is pretty much though the same. So like, is that because you're taking online classes or have teachers been able to make the adjustment pretty well? Or like, what are you experiencing in regards to school?
Well, I have your class, and,
Mhm.
so that's pretty much, like, the same other than, like, the, like, in-school conversations, which I think you've been doing a pretty good job of, like, making sure it seems as, like, school-like as possible online, which is, like, I'm thankful for. And then I have a dual enrollment class, so that's the exact same, whatever. And then my
Yeah.
3 classes are really, like, hands-on, so it's really hard to do, like, online. Like, I have host, gym, and intro to foods. And,
Uh,
so intro to foods, Mrs. V has been doing a pretty good job of doing, like, online web quests and stuff, but, it's really hard because like, that class, you're supposed to, like, cook and, like, learn how to cook and stuff, and
yeah.
can't really do that.
Yeah.
And then, like, gym, we just have to do, like, this log thing where we're supposed to work out 30 minutes a day, which I've been doing, and then, like, host, nothing, 'cause, can't go.
Yeah. So, yeah. And the host, for people who don't know, host is, I don't know. Well, how would you describe host?
You're kind of just, like, a teacher's aide, like, and you get to grow relationships with, like, the kids and just talk to them and try to help them with anything that they need. A lot of times I'm in a 4th grade classroom, so, a lot of times I just, like, help the kids, like, color or, like, read out of their books or just, like, make, like, minor adjustments for, like, spelling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you enjoyed doing that? Has that been like well, had you even been doing it for very long?
So I did it my junior year, all 3 trimesters, and then,
Oh,
this year I wasn't able to because I just had, like, a crazy busy schedule, but this last try, I finally got to do it again, so.
gotcha. Is that something, do you think, like early education is something you're interested in, or is it just that, like, what is it that about host and about helping these kids that really drew you to them?
Well, I want to go into psychology, and so I wanna do, like, family psychology after, like, a bad event in someone's life, so I was
Mm,
working with, like, a lot of kids then, and I just really like kids in general, so I figured that that would be a easy way to do that and kinda just get, like, time in with, like, kids and families because like, there's a lot of times where, like, the teachers' kids will come in or even just, like, the kids' parents, like, they'll all come in and, like, you get to talk to them and, like, really see deeper into who the kid is, and, like, it's really nice, so.
yeah, it sounds wonderful actually, and it says a lot. Like, what do you think? What aspects or personality traits of your own are able to come out during that?
Wow, I think just, like, I'm a people person. I love talking to people no matter how old, how big, how small, how young, whatever. Like I love talking to people. I don't care who you are. I will talk to you forever. And so I think just like me being able to be social with someone other than like high schoolers and like my own teachers, like it just like brings like happiness to me, just being able to like talk to other people and see different viewpoints and stuff. So
Yeah, that's really beautiful, actually. It's one of my favorite parts about you is I'm so glad you know that about yourself because others recognize it in you that you're easy to get along with. It's easy to fall into conversation with you, and so yeah, I'm glad you see that for yourself. That must make this kind of stay home, stay safe stuff even harder for you, I guess.
yeah, definitely. I definitely like also, I guess there's a lot of people who I've like stopped talking to through this because like I
Mm.
usually only talk to them like at school, or if I do talk to them outside of school, it's about like homework or whatever. And
Yeah.
it really just like shows a lot, and it's kind of like I don't know, like a taste of what college is gonna be like, I guess. Like, because I probably won't get to talk to like a lot of people, which kind of stinks, but I've been doing my best to, talk to a lot of people and keep busy and just keep talking to people, I guess.
Yeah, mostly through, I mean, social media, Snapchat, and
Yeah, a lot of FaceTime, like I said before, a lot
yeah,
of FaceTime, a lot of big groups, and yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
It's so hard and so painful to think about this senior year. Have you? I mean, I don't know. Overall, are you angry or is it some other feeling? Like what overall? Like how are you feeling about? I mean, I asked you. I know you're feeling like, but do you understand why we're home? I mean,
Yeah, I think I was definitely angry at first. Like, I just didn't understand, like, everything that was going on, and, like, I just thought that everything was being taken away, and, like, I just thought it was unfair because, like, I don't know, I've seen so many people graduate and go to college and just, like, have the whole experience, and I just really thought that it was unfair that, like, I didn't get to have the same experience, but then as I started thinking more, like, I realized that, like, this is an experience in itself, and
yeah,
that you learn a lot, like, just, like, being home and, like because for me, especially, like, I'm home, obviously, but I'm not home that often, and because I like going to hang out with my friends, I go to the basketball games, the soccer games, the football games, like, everything, and like, I just love, like, the whole social thing, but, like, when you have to be home, like, you really just kinda get creative and you just, like, think about all the things that you can do by yourself, and you just take time to yourself, and I think it's, like, a growth period for a lot of people too, like, for me, it is. I have learned what it's like being by myself, and, like, I
mhm,
know, like, it's gonna be helpful for when I go to college because like, the first couple weeks of college, first couple months even maybe, like, I will probably be alone and, like, obviously, like you said, like, I make friends pretty easy and, like, I
yeah,
can talk to people pretty easy, but it's just, like, the truth when you go, like, to a school 3,000 miles away plus, like, just
yeah. Yeah, that you kind of start in this place of like uh, that when you go on to college or university, depending where you go, but it can feel kind of isolating because oh my gosh, I don't have these immediate connections or communities, and so you end up having to really like rely on yourself, and then you build those relationships and communities. Yeah, it's pretty mature of you to suggest that this time might be good practice for that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But at the same time, we can't just sit and sulk. So I'm glad you're not doing that either.
There's definitely been times where I have probably sat and sulked, like, I'm not gonna just lie, 'cause
Yeah,
definitely, like, it's hurt a lot because, like I said before, like, you just wake up and you hear new things that are happening and, like, you just feel further away from your goal of going back to school. But honestly, like, it just I don't know, like, it just shows a lot about, like, who a person is if they can just, like, kinda just roll with the punches, and I feel like that's what I'm trying to do at my best ability, so
Yeah, yeah. And who's at home with you right now, Kaisee? Like, with whom are you staying at home? It's
Oh,
you, your mom.
right now.
It's you, just you and your mom.
Mhm, yeah.
And how's that going?
Pretty good. We've been, hanging out, you know, doing our thing.
Doing your thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I found with my family, you learn a lot more about the people in your house, and you figure out like what when you start to read people. At least this has happened for me. I start reading the people in my house a little bit better. I know when to back away a little bit, or when to engage. It's been interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
So, in your head, like, so in your head, what do you understand about school coming up, and like, what are you talking about with your friends and stuff in terms of trying to get back or not getting back, or like, what are your conversations like with your friends in regards to school and getting back to it?
Well, I have, like, a really big group chat with all of, like, my best friends, and, we have just been, like, talking about, like, how hopeful we are that we do go back to school, but also, like, we're hoping for the best but expecting the worst, and, like,
Okay.
if it if it does happen that, like, we don't go back to school, we've been talking about how when this does end, like, we just, like, wanna make it the best time as we can because, like, none of us like, there's a couple of us going to school, like, close, but there's a lot of us that are going to college, like, far, far away, like me,
Yeah.
and so we just are trying to make the most of whatever time we have, but, we're definitely, like, hopeful still that we will go back to school, even if it's for, like, a week. We all say, like, we'll be happy, like,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
all back so bad, it's crazy.
Yeah. Casey, where are you headed off to school?
I'm going to the University of Arizona.
Ah, that's so amazing. Gosh. And why at University of Arizona? Like, what got your attention there?
Well, they have a really good psychology and sciences program there, so that and also I have a lot of family that lives in Arizona, so it's just nice to have a little piece of home in your new home, so there's that, but yeah.
Yeah, I love it. No, that's going to be such a great fit, and also that warm weather, and
Mhm.
yeah, you're gonna love it. Now,
Yeah.
are there any other classmates going to University of Arizona? I doubt it.
No, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, Mrs. Zasek actually told me that I was the only person to apply from our school there, so
Oh, okay. Interesting. And but that doesn't scare you. That's
no,
you'll be fine.
yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And how would you say is like the overall spirit of the rest of your, like, on that big group chat you were talking about? I mean, everyone's missing school, hopeful for a week or something. I hear you say that. Would you say that they're similar though to you, where everybody has these down moments, but then also like understanding, or yeah.
Well, one of my friends, like, he is, like, very just, like, "I don't care," kind of a thing, like, he's just like, "Oh, I don't care if we go back to school, I don't even care if we have a graduation," and I
Mm-hmm.
love I don't know, like, I guess I kind of get upset when I hear him say that because I'm like, "Dude, like, you only get to walk across that stage one time, like, come on, I
Yeah.
know you wanna do
Yeah.
that." And then I have, like, other friends, like my girlfriends, like Natalie and Sydney and Jaslyn, and they're like, "Oh, like, I just wanna go back to school so bad," and, like, then, like, they kinda get, like, upset and, like, it's definitely, like, just about, like, the build up and, like, building each other up and being like, "Hey, like, just, like, we can get through this, like, we've got this," like, I know, like, it's so hard and it sucks so much, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
we can do this and, like, we can talk as much as we can and, like, make it feel like normal, kind of.
Yeah. 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 You know, in the coming in the coming days, I think we're going to hear definitively from the governor and hear what she has to say. So obviously I've got my fingers crossed. I so badly want to see
Yeah.
all of you again. I know, we've already talked about the IB tests being canceled. I know the AP has a version. They're doing a shorter, more, I don't know if simplified is the right, but abridged version of the AP test. But the IB tests have been canceled. And so there's just a lot going on. And I guess I'm just curious, what are some words, and maybe this will be even our last thread of conversation, Kaisee, but what are some words of advice you'd offer up for people in your situation? If people from Grand Haven, if people from Muskegon, if people from the other side of the state or in other states watch this, what are some words of advice you'd give from your perspective as a senior about to graduate high school?
Um, this is probably gonna sound kind of cheesy, but my life motto for everything and in this situation is if there's no rain, there's gonna be no flowers. And if there's not bad times, then we'll never have good ones. So I would just say to keep positive and just keep hopeful. And if worst comes to worst, like we still have each other in the end and we can still talk and just I don't know, be hopeful and just realize that all bad times turn into good times. So
Yeah, that's pretty smart stuff. Thanks. Thanks for offering that up to us. And it's true. I mean, there there will be an after this, right? So
mhm.
we're in this now, but there will be an after this, and we want to make sure that we're in a spot where we're ready to enter that space after this and be ready to go. Whether that's with celebration or with college or with whatever the case may be. So it seems to me you're preparing yourself for the after this quite well. Yeah, I miss seeing you, Kaisee, and all the classmates too. And I'm hopeful as well that we'll get back to it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. See you,
Bye.
Kaisee. Bye.